Alright, this is Phil from Huma Gear Canada and Terra Nova School of Swords. Today we have the Black Fencer Steel Series Fetter for review. Now we all know about the synthetic fetters and how good it is, but we don't know much about the Steel Series Fetter. Actually, this is one of my favorite fetters, not because we sell them, but it's also because my favorite fetter was the Castile for the longest time. The reason why I like this one is actually because of the way it's balanced. It's balanced really well, right by the shield actually is the balance point. So that means it's very, I guess the weight is closer to the pommel, which means it's very good at thrusting, and it's a very nimble sword. So if you're cutting, you're very quick and you can recover a lot quicker. That means there's not a lot of weight at the tip, so when you are hitting friends, it won't hurt as much as if you're hitting them with something more tip weighted. I don't want to mention any brands out there to give them a bad rep, but there are some brands of fetters that tend to hit a lot harder than most. So this one I would say would be in the light hitting spectrum. The flex is not as good as the Sigi, so but it flexes really well. So I'm going to take out the Castile here. It flexes better than the Castile, and that was the reason why I love the Castile, was because of how flexible it is compared to Regenier or Cavetin at the time. This, as you can see, the Black Fencer does have a longer handle and slightly longer blade. It is at the maximum length for tournament. So if you want like a maximum length kind of fetter, this would be the one. It flexes much better than the Castile, and it'll be safe for 4 when you do thrust somebody. It's slightly a bit too long for my taste, just because I'm a shorter guy. As you can see, it's pretty long. So I prefer the Castile size. If Black Fencer would come up with 2 sizes, that'd be great. But sadly, it doesn't at the moment. You can get the wrap in multiple colors. The cord wrap is really nice. It's much better than this one here. And the shape of it feels like a proper longsword. So it feels great in the hand, whereas this one just feels like a tube in the hand. So it's not the greatest in terms of for grip wise, but this grip does last you a long time. It does have a nick right here, a nice one, and you can't really fix that. Whereas the cord grip, if there was like a hole or something, or if it's damaged, you can just wrap it again, and that should be fine. We just got the brown wrap from the loaner, but the black wrap looks really nice, and it is peened. So sadly, you can't really take it apart or anything like that. But so far, we've had it for about 4 months now. There's no rattling whatsoever, and there's no burrs whatsoever, which is great. The one thing I have to say that the Castile is better in is the edges. So the edges of the Castile are like more rolled, so they're more rounded. Whereas this is more squared, which means eventually this will probably burr a little bit more around the edges than something with a rounded edge. So sadly, that's one thing I would suggest to Black Fencer that they can improve on. But other than that, the Black Fencers are known to make beautiful sounds when you clash them against other metals. So it sounds like a real sword when you clash it with other swords. I know that's something that I appreciate more than maybe others. But that's the one thing that's known about the Black Fencer. The steel is a pretty, I guess, hard steel because there's not any serious nicks, and we do bang these a lot. It is a club loaner, so we have multiple people using it almost every day, and so far no dents whatsoever. So it's good stuff. For the price, it's at $4.59, I believe, Canadian, which is relatively cheap for a fetter. Most fetters you buy in Canada will be over the $500 mark after you convert USD to CAD, or after shipping even. not to mention duties, another 20% if you're buying from the States. So it can get quite expensive, but this is the only inexpensive option we have in Canada at the moment. So if you're looking for an inexpensive fetter to train with, I would definitely recommend this one. And slightly I am biased because HEMA Gear Canada does sell this, but you can look at Dark Age Creations, they sell the same fetter as well.